Good morning, guys. In previous video, we have finished the two methods of heat transfer. The first was the conduction and second was the convection. Now we are moving toward the third one, that is called radiation. In the first two method, conduction and convection, medium was required. It means they both the methods require the medium for the heat to flow. But radiation is the method in which there is no need of any medium. It means they transfer the heat transfer without the material medium. And the heat travel in the form of the electromagnetic waves, right? Heat travel in the form of electromagnetic waves. And the speed of these waves is more than the, or we can say it is equal to the speed of light. Because it is equal to speed of light, that's why it is the fastest method of heat transfer. Getting? The first thing is that in this method, no need of any medium. Second, the heat travels as the electromagnetic waves, and the speed of electromagnetic waves is equal to the speed of light. That's why it is called the fastest method of heat transfer. Now, two examples are given here. The first method, first is you all know solar radiation. Solar radiation comes to you, solar light comes to you through the method of solar light. It comes to you by the method of radiation. Then second is, in the first picture you can see heater gives you heat, and if you are in front of heater, then you can feel the heat. Then this is also a method of radiation. The next, in this picture also you can see the fire is there, and the person is feeling the hotness, it is warmness, it is due to the radiation, and the heat is coming to the person's hand or to that person through the method of radiation, right? Now see next, all the hot object they emit the radiation. जो भी चीज गर्म होती है उसके आसपास में तुम फील करोगे एक गर्मी सी होती है, that is radiation, right? Then radiant energy is absorbed and partially reflected by the object, right? Radiant energy that is absorbed and partially reflected by the object. And amount of the heat absorbed and the radiated depend on the nature and color of the substance. If the object is of dark color, then it will be good absorber. If the object is of light color, then it will be the poor absorber of the heat or the good radiator of the heat. Okay. Then next, application of the heat, application of the radiation. There are so many applications of the heat radiation. The first is during summers we feel comfortable wearing light colored cloth, and in winters wearing dark colored cloth. They keeps our body warm. This is because light color are the poor absorber of the heat and the dark colors are the good absorber of the heat, right? Okay, then next is the, in cold and hilly areas, the outer wall and roof are usually painted dark to keep the house warm, right? Then next is the, in factories the roof are always painted with a shiny silver to reduce the loss of the heat in winters and increase the radiation of the heat in the summers, right? And thus keeping the inside temperature moderate, right? The next, in room heaters, in room heaters also at the back side reflectors are there, shiny color का आपको दिखाई देता है, back side shiny होता है, that is act as a reflector. The reflector behind the heating coil are shiny and they are silvery and always polished so that the heat can be radiated to the maximum extent, right? Now this is an activity. In this activity you have to take two identical tin can, and both of them you have to put, you have to keep in, you have to leave them in the midday sun for about 1 hour. You have to fill it with the water also, and the water level should be equal. Now you have to do one more thing, that one should, you have to paint the first one with the black color. बाहर से black color से paint कर देना है, and second is the white one, right? Now leave it in the midday sun for about 1 hour. Now measure the temperature of the water in both the cans. Do you find any difference in the temperature? Yes, the temperature of the first one will be the higher than the other. The temperature of the first skin, which was painted with the black, that will be on the higher temperature in comparison to the other. Why? Because the temperature, because the black color is a good absorber of the heat. When these दोनों के दोनों जब ये सन में रखे हुए थे, सनलाइट में रखे हुए थे, मिड डे सनलाइट में, then heat absorbed by the black will be more than the white one. That's why that water of the first one will get the more temperature in comparison to the other. It will have higher temperature, right? Okay. Now next is woolen cloths keeps us warm in winter. We all know in the winter season we always wear the woolen cloths because wool is a poor conductor of the heat, and this also contain the air trapped in between the wool fibers, and this will prevent the flow of the heat from our body to the our surrounding. The heat which is emitted by our body, ये हमारी बॉडी के आसपास बनी रह जाती है ड्यू टू दैट एयर विच इज ट्रैप्ड इनसाइड द वुलन फाइबर. वो उसे बाहर नहीं जाने देती है बिकॉज इट इज पुअर कंडक्टर एंड वी फील द वार्म, राइट. Suppose you are given the choice in winter using either one thick blanket or two thin blankets joined together. Then which will you prefer and why? The question is which you will prefer and why. Then the answer is that in comparison to the one blanket having the which is thick, it is not better, and the better one is you have two of the blankets joined together, because in two blankets which are joined together, in between them it will be a layer of the air, and air is a poor conductor. But in first case there is no such layer of the air. That's why, because air is poor conductor of heat and it does not allow the body heat to go out. देन ये भी करेगा वो काम, लेकिन क्योंकि इसके बीच में भी थोड़ी थोड़ी हवा भरी है, लेकिन इसमें डबल काम हो गया. एक तो इनके फाइबर्स में हवा है, दूसरा दोनों के बीच में एक थिक लेयर आ गई है किसकी, एयर की, विच एक्ट एज अ बैड कंडक्टर. सो इट विल बी सेकेंड वन विल बी बेटर टू हैव. It means to have the two thin blankets together, right? Now see one more activity. It is to observe the effect of heat on the wax, or you can stuck the nails also, on the nails stuck to the metallic rod. For that you have to take a metal rod, and using wax you have to stick them, sorry, you have to stick those nails at equal distances, right? Then clamp the rod to the stand, or with the help of the brick also you can clamp it, and heat the one end of the rod and observe the order in which the nails or the wax pieces falls. The nail start to fall as the wax that stuck them to the rod melt. The first this will come down, then the second, then third, then fourth, then finally the fifth one will also fall down. And the nail at the other end of the rod is the last one to fall, right? Then this shows that the heat from the flame is traveling along with the length of the rod from one end to the another end, right? Then this was the example of conduction. Getting? Okay. Now see one more activity. Light a candle and keep one hand above the flame and one hand on the side of the flame. Do your hands feel equally hot? If not, then which hand will feel hotter and why? And you have to be careful that keep your hand on a proper distance, right? So that they do not get burned. Now, notice that towards the top, the air will heat up by the process of convection, and therefore the hand above the flame that will also feel hot, right? But the hand which is on the side, there is no convection current, or there is no convection, and air does not feel as hot as the top, right? That's why this hand will feel hotter than the another one. We often use electricity and fuels like coal, wood to keep our house warm and ACs, fans, etc. to keep our house cool. Is it possible to construct the such buildings that are not affected much by the outside temperature? It means heat or cold, which is outside. Yes, this can be done by constructing outer wall of the building so that they have trapped air of the layer of the air, and one way of doing this is to use the hollow bricks also, right? Otherwise you can do the building having the outer more wall. It means if two layers are there, then air will be trapped inside these two layers, and because air is the bad conductor, that's why there will be no effect of the outer atmosphere, heat or cold which is outside. It will have no effect on the building, right? Okay, thank you.